Okay, so this is what's supposed to happen when the snow up the street melts. Hi, I'm Lady Rosemary of Briar Rose Cottage, the Moonstone Crone, if you will, and welcome everybody to flooding. This isn't flooded. This is doing nice because it finally got lower than the curb. We stopped flooding in the, well, Bill, my neighbor, stopped flooding in the road by putting this neat little dam here from stuff that I had piled up. So it did quit coming in the yard and flooding the driveway. But that was not before a problem occurred. And so now we have this greater problem of flooding because the water that ran in here froze immediately, basically. And then we get this nice warmer weather where it started to thaw, but what happened is here at the drain, it's clear. I checked that. The grate that I put on it to keep grass and leaves from plugging up further up is clear. There's no ice blocking it or anything. So the problem is, as the water drained in here, it froze probably up in here somewhere. Simon. So yes, now we have this. And there, it's at least a foot deep here. 6 inches to a foot. Okay, 6 inches. It's 6 inches here. I know that because I measured my hand, and my hand is 6 inches. Makes planting bulbs wonderful because I just dig a hole as deep as my hand and stuff. But yes. What? You don't need to come over here, so don't scream at me about all the water. You know you're supposed to use your pussycat magic to help Mom. So, I'm not organized. Oh my God. The last 5.5 years have just been insane. It is my goal to get organized. My goal to get organized. So, but thankfully, the neighbor is organized. His brain functions that way. And this should be gone. This big lake should be gone after he gets home from work. But yeah, you can see this is horrible, and I can't bail this at all. So we need to do some engineering for the driveway. I think instead of having the slope come down into the driveway to go to the pin, we actually raise everything up so it slopes down towards the road. That way, when we get thaw, and runoff from up there, it won't even come. It'll come in a little bit and then glide back out. I think that's probably the best thing, is just raise my side. Yeah, just raise my side. Because this will happen every single year until something is done. There's been talk about raising up here. but I think we need to do some angles here and some engineering. So this river doesn't become a flood. I am going to talk to him and see if potentially we can put all that water on my yard, on these bushes and things, so my trees get the water. I've got the hose for it, so but as you can see on this fine day, it's still not quite spring. Here it's warm. Spring in the north, where it's not quite spring, it's still a little bit winter. And muddy and squishy and soggy in a lot of places in the yard. Hello, my monkey. Hello, monkey. Yeah. Yeah, this is totally mucky. And of course the cats walk through it and then they bring it in the house. But you can see that it's not my water that is completely draining into the driveway. This stuff is finding the hollows. All this snow is finding hollows in places where I've been digging to do. It is meant to drain, like you can see it flowing down this way, but it's mostly getting caught in this spot, which is good. I want water to stay in my yard. I want this melt runoff to stay in my yard, so that I have it for my gardens, and all that water is prep for bushes and things for when it is spring and they need to be growing. So you do need in it, because I think we're going to have a dry summer again this year. I'm hoping for a rainy spring. To compensate for it. I showed my brother and he sent back, what a gong show. And it is. But yeah, this is what happens here. We get water. Like, look at that lake. But this is the alley. Yeah. At least none of this is in my basement. I've had enough flooding in the basement last weekend. Talk about a gong show. I'll be doing another video and I'll probably talk about that, because I've learned something about myself and I want to discuss it with you guys. Yeah. So, but I've got a mess to clean up this year. Hoi. Yeah, some of it's use it or get rid of it. Yeah, use it or lose it. Bye. So, I hope you guys are well and hanging in there. And life is good. Remember, be kind to yourself. Be kind, but especially be kind to yourself. And hold lots of peace, love, and happiness. Yeah, so bye for now.